Hi everybody, I hope everyone had an amazing, awesome day today. I know it was another hot day in Michigan, which is amazing because I know this winter and spring was super long and exhausting. So I wanted to talk about another devotionals that I love. It's called The 1 Year Devotion for Women, Becoming a Woman at Peace by Anne Spangler. This is what the cover looks like, but I love this. It goes day by day as well. But today it talks about the storms will come. The fears of the wicked will be fulfilled. The hopes of the godly will be granted. When the storms of life come, the wicked are whirled away, but the godly have a lasting foundation. So I wanted to talk about, what do you have your foundation on? Do you have your foundation on rock or do you have it on sand? And I heard that analogy before, but I never really understood it. But it means you have your foundation on the Word of God. Do you have your faith and your trust in God, or do you have it wavering between two opinions, which is quicksand, which you're going to sink and you're going to be taken away? So it's really important to do that. And I know Kurt and I have read that book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits, and it talks about, putting all the rocks in a jar and then putting sand on it and then water, like what are your priorities? And so if you keep, God number 1, your husband or wife number 2, and your family, and then, your work or your activities or whatever last. So definitely know where your foundation is. And I know it makes it a lot easier to make decisions on that. Like Blake had to make a really hard decision today. He was in a tournament game on his city league, and then he committed to practice for a travel team, and he was just, had a hard time deciding. Well, anyway, his city league team ended up losing, so he just felt like he let the team down and stuff. But I said, Blake, you can't worry about other people, right? Like, you made the right decision, you prayed about it, you knew where you had to be, God told you where you needed to be. And it's one of those things that I am still working on this as well, about worrying about what other people think or say, because let's be honest, no one else, they're not thinking about you once they walk away or whatever. It's like they're thinking about themselves, which is sad, but it's true because people are, selfish. But like, even when you take a picture, right, and like a group picture with everybody, and you say, let me see what it looks like, who do you look at first? Yourself, right? Like, no one else is looking at, they're looking at themselves, because people are selfish and self-centered. But anyway, so it's just good to know, like, when you have the foundation and you know the right principles and you know the truth and you're living on that, it's amazing. But another thing happened at work today. One of the guys I work with, there were 2 guys I work with actually, and one of the guys is like, you're a Christian, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, oh yeah. He said, one of the other guys is like, oh yeah, she's been really working on me, trying to save me or whatever. And I thought, you know what? My job as a Christian is just to go plant seeds, and God's job is to do the rest of the work. Like, people will find out, like, if it's planted in soil or if it's planted on rock, it's not going to grow. But you know what? All our job is as Christians is to go out and be the light, be the good example, and God's job is to do the rest of the work. So I hope you have an amazing, awesome night, and I can't wait to see what God's up to for tomorrow.